and welcome back to the another episode of Daily Quiz for IAS Prelims 2025. It is 13th October today, and in this video we are going to derive the important questions, important prelims based questions from these important articles which are mentioned on this slide, which were actually taken from the newspapers. Before we will start our discussion, I would like to introduce this initiative to you guys if you are the first time visitors of this channel. Then let me introduce it. In this video we discuss three types of questions. The first set of questions are taken from the current affairs. We take up the most important articles from the newspapers, we break them down into the simplest language possible, and we derive the prelims based questions from those articles so that it will give the idea how the questions could come from these current affairs articles, from these current affairs or news articles. This will give the idea how the prelims based questions could come from these articles. And the another set of questions which we discuss here is taken from the static portion. Every day we discuss a static topic here, and we had started with the Indian polity, and today we are going to discuss the article 18, and we are going to derive a prelims based question from this article, and it will give the idea how the question could actually come from this article or from the static topic which we discuss here. After discussing these current affairs topics and the static portion, we will shift our approach towards the previous year questions, which would be the last part of our discussion. We will take a few important questions from the last two question papers. We will try to find different ways and methods by which we can solve those questions, and also we'll try to know how we can implement this knowledge that we get from these questions in the next upcoming exam. So this is all about this initiative. Now, before we will start our discussion, I would like to request you guys, please do watch the full video. This is going to be very much important for you. That as I already told you what are the sources of my questions, as we take questions from newspapers, we take questions from the static portion and also from the previous year questions. And the good thing about it is that the UPSC also uses these sources for framing the question papers for you. So there are chances that many questions can coincide, or at least many statements can coincide with the questions which the UPSC is going to ask you. There are chances because our source is same. So being on the safer side, it would be best for you if you would watch this video, if you would watch this video till the end and try to grab as much knowledge as possible. And also I would like to request you guys, please do note down these questions which we discuss here. They are going to be very much important for you. First, as I already told you, questions can coincide. Second, if you have these questions and you would want to revise the current affairs, when your exams are near, at that time it would get very much hectic for you to revise the questions because the material is too huge. It is not practically possible to revise the current affairs of the whole year. So if you have at that time these questions with you, you would just go through these questions. These questions would definitely connect you with the current affairs, and also it will boost your confidence before entering the exam hall. So being on the safer side, I would recommend you, please note down these questions, or at least keep the screenshot of these questions. Then another thing which I want to request you is, guys, please do subscribe the channel and share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative. And also do write in the comments what else should we bring for you. If we are if there is need of any change here, then please do write in the comments. Be as much critical as you can be, but be respectful at the same time. So with this, let's have a look at the topics from where we have taken the questions. Let's get the context behind the questions which we are going to discuss from the next slide. Here, the first topic from where we have taken the question is about the Nobel Prize for Peace. We are discussing these. We discussed Nobel Prize for physics, who are the persons who got it, and what was their discovery. We discussed with respect to chemistry. We discussed with respect to literature too, and today we are going to find out who is the which organization got the Nobel Prize for Peace and what were their contributions. You know, if about Nobel Prize for Peace, it is Nihon Hindankyu, which is a organization in Japan. You know, they are the survivors of the World War II. You know, still right now there are more than 1 lakh survivors of World War II. So they campaigned for after getting this incident. You know, after surviving from the World War, after getting that nuclear attack on them. After that, once they survived, they spent their whole life in campaigning that the world should be free from the nuclear weapons. So in their in for this campaign they are given this Nobel Peace Prize, and the organization which has been given is Nihon Hindankayu, and the survivors are called Hibukusha are the survivors of the World War II, of the survivors of the nuclear war, which happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1947. So this is the context of the question which we are going to discuss in the next slide. Then the another topic which was in the news is about India condemns incidents at Pandal and temples in Dhaka. So what is the news here? You know, after the fall of the Sheikh Hasina government, as we know, she was very much friendly with the India, and she had huge, she had done huge, great things with respect to curbing extremist organizations in Bangladesh. But after the fall of Sheikh Hasina, you know, now it is most likely that BNP will come back, and as we know that they are very much they have very much anti-India approach. And with respect to that, the Jamaat-e Islamiyah has also gained the confidence, and also the Hifazatul Islam, which was actually made by Sheikh Hasina against Jamaatul Islam, but they had also been radicalized, and they had done many attacks on the minorities, especially Hindus in the Bangladesh. And with respect to that, they had vandalized temples there. You know, especially during the Durga Puja there, and the external minister of India, he requested the Yunus government, which is right now in Bangladesh, that they should curb this atrocities against minorities in the Bangladesh as soon as possible, so that the relationship between the two countries would remain constant and will be progressive. And also with respect to that, here comes the question of the constitution, you know, Citizenship Amendment Act. What was the scene behind that? And that this incident proves why the government went for the Citizenship Amendment Bill in 2018. It gives the sanctity to that bill. With respect to this, we will solve a prelims based question. You know, in it there a question would maybe come from the organizations there, but let's get a little broader. Let's know the borders of the Bangladesh with respect to India. Let's try to solve a question with respect to that. Another topic which was in the news is about the Office of the UN High Commissioners for Human Rights. You know, they had published a report in which they they showed to the world that how Israel has is conducting the genocide in Gaza, how they had deliberately attacked the hospitals there, they had killed, how they had deliberately killed the doctors and medical aid people there, and how many doctors were killed, and those attacks were very much deliberate. So here this let's know about this commission with respect to the prelims question, model prelims question, and get more idea about it. And with respect to the report, the Israel has replied that it is not totally correct. It has said that it is the pro Palestinian countries which are forcing UN to publish such reports. After that, there is another article. It talks about the sickle cell anemia, as it has been found in the tribal population. So we will try to understand what this is. It is the, you know, also about the sickle cell anemia. The Modi government has given the ambitious target of mission 2047, by which we will eliminate sickle cell anemia. It is a national sickle cell anemia elimination mission 2047, and the major cause in the tribal peoples is the inbreeding in communities, and the inbreeding in communities is the major cause of the sickle cell anemia, as it is a genetic disorder, and it has huge it can become fatal too. So with respect to this, we will solve a prelims based question and get more idea about it. Then the another article, it is about the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Why it is in news? Because the finance ministry has promoted it as a Maharatna status. This status promotion is based on the performance by the PSUs, and with respect to Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, it has performed phenomenally well, and it has been awarded the Maharatna status. Right now it is the 14th Maharatna of India. What will it do to the company? They will enjoy the greater autonomy by having this status, and they can manage human resources and other uh, things which comes with it too. After that, there was another article. It is about the Chittagong fort built with Chinese assistance. As what we see that the Chinese naval fleet docks at the Bangladesh port, and it does not go well with India because they are Chinese, they have habit of spying the Indian borders in India, so this does not go well with the with India. So let's try to know about more ports in Bangladesh which are strategically important for India. After that, there was another article which is about the Uller Lake. As you know, it is the harvesting of water chestnuts there, which is one of the major source of income to the people living nearby Uller Lake. And about the Uller Lake, we should know that it is the largest freshwater lake in India. It is fed by the Jhelum River, and it is the result of the tectonic activities that it has come to the existence. And also we should know that it has been recognized as the Ramsar site. So this is what was in the news with respect to the current affairs. I hope by discussing this slide you had got the basic gist of the news itself. Now with this, let's try to solve the prelims based questions and get the cause of the video from those. Here the first question is directly on, let's see what does it say. It says, which of the following individuals or organizations was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2024 for their contribution to the global peace efforts? Was she Malala Yousafzai? No, she had got way back. Is it Nihon Hidanko for their international campaign to abolish nuclear weapons? 100% correct. This is the organization in Japan which has got the Nobel Global Peace, Nobel Prize for Global Peace efforts, and they had spent their life in campaigning for the nuclear free world. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option B. Now with this, let's move to the another question and see what does that say. Here the question says, which of the following Indian states share a border with Bangladesh? Assam, it definitely shares. West Bengal, it does share. Tripura, it also shares border with Bangladesh. Meghalaya, it also shares border with Bangladesh. And the state which shares most, largest border with the Bangladesh is West Bengal. So with respect to this question, all the four statements are correct. And from the code given below, the correct code would be option C. So by discussing this question here, you would have got the basic, UPSC has this habit of asking such questions map based. By discussing this, as Bangladesh has been in the news from various times from last 3 to 4 months, it is always in the news. So it becomes important for us to understand the borders, as right now the internal security of India is under threat because of the Bangladesh. So we should know what are the states which can be affected by that, and we should know what are the states which share the borders with Bangladesh. With respect to this, let's move to the another question and try to solve that. Here the question says, which of the following statements are true regarding the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, as they had published the report with respect to the Israeli genocide in Gaza. Let's try to solve this question. It says the Office of the United Nations High Commissioners was established in 1993 by the United Nations General Assembly. Correct. The High Commissioners for Human Rights is appointed by the UN Secretary General. This is also true. Third, OHCHR is responsible for promoting and protecting human rights globally. Correct. And the OHCHR has the authority to enforce international human rights laws. No, it does not have that authority. So where its headquarters is located, this may be asked about the headquarters of the and the Office of the United Nations High Commissioners for Human Rights. It is headquartered in Geneva. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 2 and statement 3, and from the code given below the correct code would be option B. With this, let's move to the another question here on the next slide. It is about the sickle cell anemia. It says which of the following statements regarding sickle cell anemia are correct. First statement, sickle cell anemia is genetic disorder caused by mutation in hemoglobin gene. Yes, the hemoglobin may look like a sickle cell, like a sickle. Second statement, it is which is like a crescent it would look like. Second statement is primarily more prevalent in individuals of African and Mediterranean descent. 100% correct. Nothing wrong with this, it is mostly found there. And third, sickle cell anemia can be cured by bone marrow transplant. Correct. This is one of the way to cure the sickle cell anemia, by bone marrow transplant. The fourth statement, the disease is transmitted through viral infection. No, it is a genetic disorder. It is not transmitted through viral infection. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 2 and statement 3. And from the code given below, the correct code would be option A. With this, let's move to the another question and try to solve that. Here the question says Mongla port recently seen in news is located in which country? Is it in India? No. Is it in Pakistan? No. China? No. It is definitely in Bangladesh. Why it is in news? Because it is very much strategically important for India and many Indian ships dock there. So as we had discussed about the Chittagong port, so it makes Mongla port also important for our exam. Now with this, let's move to the another question. Here the question says which of the following statements about the Wular Lake are correct. First, Wular Lake is one of the largest freshwater lakes in India. 100% correct. Second largest in the world. Third, the second statement, it is located in the state of Himachal Pradesh. No, it is located in the UT of Jammu and Kashmir. Third, Wular Lake is part of the Jhelum River Basin. 100% correct. Fourth, the lake is known for its rich biodiversity and is a designated Ramsar site. 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 3 and statement 4. And from the code given below, the correct code would be option B. With this, we had completed the questions with respect to the current affairs. I hope you had got the basic idea what was in the news and you had got the gist of those articles. Now with this, let's move to the another part of our discussion, which is solving the questions from the static portion. And today's static topic is Article 18. Now let's try to solve that question. Here the question says which of the following statements regarding Article 18 of the Indian Constitution are correct. First statement, Article 18 abolishes titles and privileges conferred by the state. 100% correct. Statement 3, Article 18 is part of the fundamental rights. 100% correct. Statement 4, Article 18 specifically prohibits the use of the titles of nobility. 100% correct. Statement 2, it allows for the conferment of military and academic titles. 100% correct. You know, titles are prohibited under Article 18. You can't use the Maharaja and all those titles which were conferred by the British colonial era, or which were neither the state can confer any title. But in this, the exception is given to the awards like Bharat Ratna we have, but still those you can't use those prefix to the name. Also, but there is exception with respect to the military and academic titles. You can use these titles which are given by military and the academic. For example, you achieve the doctorate degree from some medical college, you can use Dr. Falani or what else your name would be. So here this statement is also correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are option 1, 2, 3 and 4. And from the code given below, the correct code would be option D. With this, I hope you had got the basic idea about Article 18 and also how UPSC can ask a question from this article itself. Now with this, let's move to the last part of our discussion, which is dealing with the previous year questions. Let's try to understand them. Here the question is which portfolio was held by Dr. Rajendra Prasad in interim government formed in the year 1946. You know, you would never mark this question correctly if you don't know about the interim government, what portfolios were given to the particular people. So here it becomes very much important for us to read these, to remember these persons, what portfolios, what ministries were given to them. as they had asked this question, they can ask you from tomorrow, in defense, who was the ministry, it was under whom, or food and agriculture was under whom, or external affairs and commonwealth relations were under whom in the interim government, which was formed in the year 1946. So it becomes important for us. So this is how you read, this is how you prepare for prelims. You had seen a question from interim government about the portfolio, so it becomes obligatory for you to remember everything about the interim government, every portfolio to whom it was granted. So it becomes obligatory for you. That is the reason we are discussing this prelims, this previous year question session here. It gives you how to read, it shows you the way how to read, it shows you how the UPSC is going to ask you this question. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is food and agriculture. And after India got independence, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first Indian president. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option C. Now coming to the last question of today's discussion, it is about which one of the following arose a wave of popular indignation that led to the massacre by the British at Jallianwala Bagh. This is very simple and straightforward question. If you had just qualified your 10th exam, you would definitely mark this correctly. It is the Rowlatt Act. It was the protest against this act that it led to the massacre of the Jallianwala Bagh. So with respect to this, I hope you had got you had understood this video, you had understood every question, and you had got as much knowledge as possible. And also, please do write in the comments what else should we bring for you. If there is any need of the change, if there is anything which can be changed, so please do write in the comments. If you want to criticize us, but be very much respectful while doing that, because don't hurt our sentiments, please. And also, we are working for you and we are here to improve ourselves too. So please do write in the comments what else should we bring, or is if anything is there which is not good in our teaching style, please do write in the comments. We will definitely try to change that. With this, we conclude our discussion today. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.